welcome to the Pure Energy Healing Academy. Welcome to my Bajerski YouTube channel. Hi everybody. You want to look at my new top? There you go. Like it? Okay, so I did tell some of you guys, I don't know if you heard that, I had a latest delivery of something that I ran out of a long while ago on bajerski.com, and that is the original mala beads. Those mala beads that weren't 108 mala beads, but actually as many mala beads that fitted comfortable on the string itself. So it's really about the mala bead and not the exact amount of fruit seeds, which they are fruit seeds, and they hold a lot of vitamins and minerals actually in them fruits. So here we go. Here's one. Let me cut it. Okay, so I guess this is another box opening of mala beads. Lovely. Let's just so this is the larger of the mala beads, the larger seeds. So there you go. Now take note, these are the original ones that I first on my website where they were, I mean, they're a lot cheaper in price because they're not counted, so they're just put on the string, and they're not knotted neither. So my other mala beads obviously were made by a beautiful family who knot them. So do you remember when I did the video with Ajahn, and Ajahn says this is how he prefers them, not with a knot? So here they are. This is the larger ones. Absolutely gorgeous. I'll explain what I feel about these in a minute, but that's one. So these are the largest. If you go to my website, hopefully they will be all on there when this video is finished. So this is the next size down. So as you can see, just slightly smaller. Beautiful though, absolutely gorgeous. So that's them. Already start to feel good energy from them. Really nice. And then this is the final bag. Look at them. Aren't they gorgeous? So this is 6mm. That's what it says on. They're lovely. Absolutely gorgeous. So yes, they are not... Well, I'll just show you these as well. So these are slightly bigger. So obviously the bigger the bead, the longer they are, but aren't these gorgeous? Look at them. Hey, lovely. I think these are the smallest. So these are little tiny beads, these ones. So yeah. Aren't they lovely? So okay, I'll put these down and I'm going to treat myself and have one as a gift to myself. Ooh, fits lovely. There you go. Right next to the pendant, which we've got on offer at the moment for 120, including DHL delivery, and that is my prototype of the Herkimer Diamond, the Moldavite, which is genuine, and of course the Tektite, which is the great absorber of negative energy. Now, for all my time as being a healer, I used to always wear the mala bead. Why? Because the seed itself has some kind of energy that vibrates at a frequency that fits or sits so nicely with crystals. You don't need to even wear crystals to feel the energy of the mala when it's on you. You feel at peace. You feel better in general. And if you're doing any kind of healing work, psychic work, any meditation, anything that helps you attune to the best part of the brain to calm it down, mala beads are absolutely, in my humble opinion, that what quietens and stills the mind. And as Ajahn said, when you touch the mala bead with your fingers, it's a representation of the brain, because if you look at it, it's like the inside of your brain. So it calms the brain, so it makes it feel more in balance. You feel better. So when you wear them, there's something about them, and they work really well with crystals. They work alongside crystals so well. It's not only working alongside them, but it helps. There is a form of kind of like, not exactly amplification, but it brings out the best of the crystal. There's something that the two connecting with each other represent, whether that is the crystal, whether it's Mother Earth as the tree. What you're wearing is literally the seed that comes from the fruit that many people eat, and say that the vitamins and all of the amazing things within that fruit is incredible. But the seed, it's something else. It's something else. So my malas are made in Bali, Indonesia, and they're made by a family. So the family that I know put them together, and the man who represents that family, we communicate via another friend of mine, Wayan. Wayan helps me, we translate and we explain how and what we want. This time I said to them, look guys, the mala and the 108, is it 108? I don't even know. Probably is, probably isn't. Who knows? But the amount of malas, Jan's going to slap me in a minute. He's going to come back and slap me. So I said, it's important that they are as they're put in, no knots to separate them. Okay, this is what a lot of my clients like, just like this. Now, so I've got two sets of clients. One set who just appreciate the malas and just say, look, I love the seed. I love to wear it. That's it. That's like me. That's the truth. This is how I like it. No need to talk about anything else. Just feel it. And then there's others who really are very deep into the meditation, who like to practice mantra daily. And it's fantastic. So they need a certain amount of the seeds to be able to fulfill that circle. And then there's some who like them really, really fancy. So I then came up with the idea of, why don't we have colours, like not just red, but lots of colours. And why don't we knot them? Because by knotting them, they'll stay strong. Because like this, after a while, what happens is they loosen. The string kind of loosens, and then they play a little bit. So there's sometimes a little bit of a gap, right? But if you knot them, there's no gap. But still, this is how I like them. I remember wearing one set for many, many years, and I could literally do that and they'd move up and down because the string had widened in time. But I love them. I absolutely love them. To this day, I still feel the presence of them. I still remember them like it was yesterday. So I just think to myself, crystals are phenomenal to target certain body parts, right? You probably already know this, whether it's a physical body part or whether it's an emotional, mental, whatever it is, it targets certain body parts. For me, the mala beads, when everybody talks about them, I go, oh, it's really interesting, all the things that they say, but I look upon my life as my experience and what I felt by wearing them. So I never used to gift any of these away. I don't think I did. Maybe I might have done, but it was always crystals. But what I noticed with this is a sense of calmness when I wore it, a sense of balance. It almost felt like I was being cleansed on a level of putting my feet in Mother Earth and hugging a tree. It's a feeling that I'm close to nature. It feels like I'm walking in a forest when I wear them, because it's that feeling. High end, high level, positivity, great energy, great vibration. I feel light. I feel as if I'm more balanced in my mind, for sure. When I wear them, balanced in the mind. Definitely always feel a lot more balanced, a lot more calmer. The serenity that runs through you, and you feel like, you can flow more. Life is easier. And I don't feel as negative. I don't feel as pressured. I feel like I'm protected. It feels like when I'm wearing them, I feel protected. I feel really good. And some people say, do you actually touch them? And I do. I often touch them. And I'll use fingers that you shouldn't use. But I don't follow a certain doctrine. I follow what feels right with me. And I don't listen to negativity and what you should and shouldn't do, because by doing that, you're casting a spell on people by saying they're doing something wrong. And to me, how can your fingers be wrong? They were given to you by God, right? If you believe that, how can touching them be wrong in any way? But I totally understand that people have been taught, programmed to do something in a certain way. Whereas me, I'm the opposite of it. I say, just go with it. See how it feels. What do you feel feels right? I mean, I touch it like this, but I don't think you're meant to. You're meant to touch it like this, but I don't care. I don't think, I shouldn't do that. Like, don't touch them crystals. You shouldn't touch somebody else's crystals. Why not? It's a bloody crystal. Touch it, enjoy it. Don't touch my tarot cards. Why not? If you want to touch them, touch them. If you want to play with them, no problem. Don't bring negativity in this room. Don't tell me don't cross your knees when you're doing meditation. Why not? Are you comfortable with your knees crossed? Then that's fine. You've got to join your fingers together for this and that. Well, why? Why can't I just be and do what feels right to me to get to where I want to be? And that's been my philosophy of pure energy healing. Don't tell somebody what to do. Hey, this is what I do. Give it a try. But if it doesn't work for you, in fact, forget the but. Try it, right? And then if you start to feel, this is great, this information is great. If you start to feel a pull to do something different, bloody do it. You can't do that why? Because I don't do it and I've been taught we shouldn't do it. Why? So you're just following orders of somebody else just because they did it. So I don't buy into that. I didn't at the beginning, I don't now. Why? Because of experience, not maybe out of stubbornness, but I always remember going for my first experience with a very high-leveled healer who was into pranic. And because I gave this person a session and she was blown away, she wanted to give me something in return. So she gave me 3 hours of her knowledge of pranic healing. And I thought that was wonderful, and I listened to it, and I was at the very beginning of my healing stage. So I was already doing healings, but I was interested in other forms, and I really liked what she said. But here's the but. When I was giving a healing session to a lady who was round about 70 to 80 years old, she told me she had issues with her one eye. Now, part of pranic healing is you shouldn't put your hand over an elderly person's eye for longer than a certain time. So for the first month, this lady was coming to me and I was giving a healing on the eye and nothing was happening. It wasn't getting any better. And for some sneaky feeling inside, that's your consciousness talking to you, it was saying, keep your hand where it is. It's not long enough. And my brain was being told by this amazing healer who was taught by somebody who learnt from Master Kokosui, whatever his name is, that this is how you should do it. So passing this knowledge on to me was stopping me from doing what I felt inside was the right thing to do. So after a few weeks, her eye wasn't any better. This is at the beginning of my healing, learning all the time. And then finally, I broke free from that chain, which was told that this is how you do it. And I stayed by the eye for an hour and 20 minutes. When I'd finished, the lady says, something happened after about 40 minutes. And she had problems with an eye duct as well. And she wasn't able, the tears were difficult to come through, and dry eye and all sorts of stuff she was telling me. But what happened was, after about 45 minutes, she started crying. And when I'd finished, she says, oh, something's happened, it feels better. Now, I stayed there and didn't listen to what I was told I should do. And I followed what felt right. And what felt right had actually made a difference that day. You could argue with the fact that, well, it happened just at that moment, and you could be right, but maybe that was coincidence, maybe it wasn't. But it was my beginning of saying, well, I knew when I sat and meditated after a day of healing, I used to think about all my healing sessions, and I thought, well, you listened to yourself, Mark. You broke free from the pattern of what you were told you should do, and you followed what felt right, and there was a positive outcome. So that brought me joy, but it also brought me a new understanding that if I ever taught somebody something, or somebody wanted to learn what I've learned as a healer over 20 years now, the one thing I've learned is don't tell people how to heal. Show them what you do and say to them, but follow your higher intuition. If your higher intuition goes against what I've done, then be proud, because you're more of a healer than I am. Right? What do you mean by that? Well, it means that you are more powerful than the person you've learned from, which means that you become the teacher now, not the pupil. And Ajahn's always saying that. Ajahn is a teacher of yoga, and Ajahn often says to his pupils, if you keep coming to me, you'll only ever be a student. So become a teacher. Go and learn how to teach yoga. Do you see what I mean? And that's my philosophy. When he said that, I said, oh, wow, that's like me. That's how I want to push people to be the better version of me by listening to themselves and breaking free from any patterns that I do. Don't follow me. If it feels right, then that's fine. That's your pattern. That's your intuition. But don't block yourself by saying, okay, this is the way to do it. It's regimental. This is the only way you can do pure energy healing. No, pure energy healing is open to your interpretation, your comfortableness. So if I'm doing a healing session and my hand's above somebody and I'm holding my mala beads and I'm working like this, why? Because it feels comfortable. This feels right. There's no negativity, no issues. And when that happens, you're open to receiving more. But if you feel uncomfortable at any position, then that uncomfortableness becomes a block and stops the pure healing from flowing through you. Ultimately, I believe that if you work on your higher self, your higher self means your truth, your the real you, not the space suit, the real you. And if you listen to that, if you connect yourself to the higher truth in you, you'll be the best healer, the best psychic, the best anything, whatever you want. So, yeah, I mean, mala beads, they're beautiful. There's something special about Mother Nature, Mother Earth. The wood that she creates from her trees, and as you know, all trees, in my humble opinion, have life. And even after life in the tree, there is still something. There's still something there. There's some kind of, I can't explain it, but I guess it's a bit like Mother Earth grows crystals for you, her minerals. She grows them and then we take them away from the ground. They're still alive. They may not be as high frequency than what they were in Mother Earth, but they still hold the residue and the memory in the crystal. And I think the same thing with mala beads. So do what you feel. buy beautiful mallow beads, buy them any way you want them. But in my opinion, they work well no matter how you feel. So follow your own guidance and what feels right, to what size they are, how big they are, how small they are. You might want to have the biggest ones and wrap them round twice and wear them, and you might feel amazing doing the healing. Or you might just want to wear a little one during the day, which isn't too heavy, and it just works so well in that peace and tranquility as you're wearing them with your crystals. A balance of beautiful Mother Earth wood and Mother Earth crystal. What could be more beautiful, eh? So yeah, that's it. I'm going to now work upon these, put them on mattbajerski.com. Probably work with the first lot for about 2 hours. They don't need much energy work in these, but I like to put at least 5 hours, 2 to 5 hours at least. So I work on these probably first for a couple of hours, and then keep working on a few more at a time, and then I'll put them on the website. But I hope you enjoyed this box opening of mallow beads from Indonesia, Bali, made beautifully by the Balinese gorgeous healers. Enjoy.